You know that feeling, right? That moment when the tech you absolutely rely on just gives up. The screen freezes, an app crashes, the Wi-Fi just vanishes into thin air. It is so frustrating. But what if I told you that fixing these things isn't some kind of secret dark art? Nope, it's a skill. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what you need to become a master troubleshooter.
But first, let me throw a curveball at you. A quick question about problem solving, but from a totally different world. Mickey Mouse, one of the most famous characters on the entire planet. What was his original name? Take a guess.
Believe it or not, the answer is Mortimer Mouse. It's kind of funny, right? But it's also a perfect reminder that the first idea is almost never the final solution. Getting to that right answer, well, it often means you have to test something out, see what happens, get a little feedback, and then try a whole new approach. That process, that loop of iterating, is the absolute heart and soul of troubleshooting. Okay, so let's get into it. What is troubleshooting, really? We tend to think of it as some kind of technical magic, but it's not. It's a method, a process for getting from this is broken, to, yes, it's working. You see, most of us have this picture in our heads of troubleshooting as this rigid, step-by-step checklist. You just follow the instructions from top to bottom. But the reality? It's much more of a creative loop. You test out a theory, you watch what happens, you learn from that result, and then you try something new based on what you just learned. You just keep repeating that cycle until, bam, you find the solution. So, here's the really big takeaway. Troubleshooting isn't some natural-born technical talent that you either have or you don't. Not at all. It's a collection of thinking skills and strategies. And you know what that means? It means it's something anyone can learn and get great at. And before we even think about touching a keyboard or a mouse, the most important work happens right up here in our heads. The very first step is all about a mindset shift. It's not about what you do. It's about how you think about the problem in the first place. And this troubleshooter's mindset, it's really built on 3 core skills. First up, problem solving. This is the big picture. It's simply the skill of seeing where you are. That's the problem state. And where you want to go. That's the goal state. And then figuring out the smartest, most efficient path to get from A to B. Next, we have critical thinking. This is where you put on your detective hat. It's all about analyzing the clues, questioning your own assumptions, and searching for the hidden logic behind why something's busted. It's really just asking, okay, what's really going on here? And finally, decision-making. Look, after you've analyzed the problem and you've thought about a few different ways to fix it, you have to actually choose one. This is the skill of weighing your options and committing to a plan of attack to solve the problem for good. All right, so now that we've got the mindset right, let's talk about the practical tools you're going to need. And trust me, I'm not just talking about a bunch of software. A real troubleshooter's toolkit has 5 key parts. And what's so wild is that the most important tools in this kit aren't pieces of software at all. They're human skills, like how you communicate, and personal traits, like just being patient. In fact, you can make a really strong case that the single most powerful tool in your entire kit is communication. Seriously. The ability to listen carefully, to ask the right questions, and to explain things clearly will solve way more problems than any gadget or program ever could. And this is where communication becomes your superpower. By asking these 5 critical questions, whether you're asking yourself or somebody else, you can instantly gather all the clues you need to crack the case. This is how you cut right to the heart of almost any problem. Okay, so you've got the right mindset and the right tools. Now you need a game plan. Let's walk through some proven, battle-tested strategies that you can pull out whenever you're facing down a really stubborn tech problem. Rule number 1, and please, never ever forget this one. Start simple. Is it plugged in? Is the Wi-Fi actually turned on? And yes, have you tried turning it off and on again? It sounds almost silly, but you would be absolutely amazed how often the solution is something incredibly simple and obvious. Next up, can you make the problem happen again whenever you want? If you can replicate it, you can study it, and this is a game changer because it turns a random, frustrating glitch into a predictable puzzle that you can actually sit down and solve. Now this one is powerful. Don't just fix the symptom, find the disease. Root cause analysis is just the process of asking why over and over again. You keep digging deeper and deeper until you find the fundamental, core reason the problem is happening in the first place. And beyond those big 3, your playbook should also include some more advanced moves. The core idea behind all of these is basically isolation.
whether that means checking settings, breaking a big system down into smaller parts, or swapping out components one by one until you find what failed. So we've covered the mindset, the tools, and the strategies. But the final piece of this whole puzzle is you. It's about taking all these skills and making them your own, developing your own personal approach. This right here is what really separates the beginners from the experts. The best troubleshooters aren't just defined by what they know technically. They're defined by their personal traits. They have patience and persistence, they genuinely get a kick out of solving the puzzle, and they are always looking for a chance to learn something new. And this all leads us to the ultimate skill, metacognition. It's a fancy word that just means thinking about your thinking. It's that ability to step back after you solved a problem and ask yourself, how did I do that? What worked? What didn't? This kind of self-reflection is really the final step to mastering the craft. So, that leaves us with one last question to think about. Are these traits, patience, critical thinking, persistence, are these things you're just born with, or can they be learned and improved on? Well, based on everything we've talked about today, the answer seems pretty clear. Becoming a great troubleshooter is a journey, not a destination.